the world of digital finance, a small group of individuals have tried to warn the world. They've exposed the games, the silence, the puppets, and the billion-dollar setups hidden in plain sight. While others chased hype, they followed the money straight to Ripple, regulation, and the new financial order. This is not speculation. This is the groundwork. This is the blueprint. These are their stories.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours in Crypto. Let's get right into today's episode. Listen up very carefully because I'm about to break down exactly why XRP dwarfs every other crypto project on the planet when it comes to real-world utility and institutional adoption. We're going to go over Chainlink, Ondo, and Axelar, what they actually do, what blockchain layers they sit on, and how their price will rise. And then we're going to compare all of that to XRP, which is completely in a different league. If this is the first video you're watching on my channel, I suggest you watch my previous ones. We are very blunt and fact-based. We are called OF, only facts. And we have been documenting the journey of XRP for a very long time, and we have been bullseye for everything. Maybe not price projections, on the short term, but everything else. Regardless of that, we know XRP is going to go to 10, 20, 30, $100, 100%. But I'm going to give you the facts that you just cannot dispute. Yesterday, I made a tweet talking about how if you had $1,000 today, it makes much more sense for you to buy XRP rather than Bitcoin. Just to give you the high estimate, if you put $1,000 into Bitcoin today, and when Bitcoin goes to $3 million, you get our ROI of $26,000. And if you put $1,000 into XRP today, you're going to get $65,000 ROI when XRP goes to $200. And XRP is going to go to $200 way before Bitcoin is going to go to $3 million. That is just fact-based. And a lot of people came out, individuals, a lot of them from the Chainlink community, saying XRP will never hit these price markets projections because it'll combine, we talked about it briefly previously. But a lot of hate came from Chainlink. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give you the facts. There should be no room for hate or any kind of discussion. It's a collaborative effort. And the thing is, these clowns, these uneducated fools, these maxis in these little cartels, we're not in the XRP cartel. We know we are very well educated on other coins and how they're going to provide and what their use cases are. And I'm going to give you, this is the only time I'm going to make this video. So please share this video to everybody you know, and then they could do a little bit of thinking for themselves for the first time in their lives, okay? Because if you haven't bought crypto in 2025, you're huge mistake. So where do we begin? First up, let's talk about Chainlink. Here's the truth. Chainlink is not a blockchain. It's not a settlement layer. It's a decentralized Oracle network, a data layer that feeds real-world information to smart contracts. And its purpose is to price feeds for DeFi, proof of reserve data for stablecoin, cross-chain meshing, and automation. Chainlink is a critical infrastructure for Web3. But let's be clear, it doesn't move money. It moves information. And how does the value of Link go up over time? It's going to go obviously through network usage because projects pay Link to access their oracles. Staking and security drive demand. And also we're going to see a whole phase of tokenization and DeFi coming in from, deep pocket institutions that are going to price these assets way higher than where they are today. But Chainlink is not a liquidity handler. It will never move trillions of dollars on its own. And that's where XRP already leaves it in the dust. And next up, let's talk about Ondo. Ondo lives on the Ethereum and Solana network. And if you guys enjoy my artwork, go ahead and smash that like button. It's an application layer project. It's not a base blockchain. Its purpose is tokenizing real-world assets, U.S. treasuries, corporate bonds, yield-bearing stablecoins like, when RLUSD starts and USDC. Ondo is like the packaging layer for real-world finance coming on chain. Now, here's the thing. Ondo needs liquidity, but it doesn't create it. Those tokenized assets still need a bridge asset to move globally.
But, especially what the banks are doing, I think last week a new kind of consortium of banks said, hey, we, rolling out this new stable coin. Does that kind of freeze you guys out, or?
I think it's actually helpful. One of the problems that people have is the ability to hold digital assets can be difficult, particularly with the volatility in some digital assets. Stable coins are safer to hold if you can trust the issuer. So I think to that extent, it can be helpful because you still need liquidity. So if you imagine a dollar stable coin issued by JPM, and you have maybe some other dollar coins issued by companies like Circle, and everybody seems to be issuing a stable coin. And then you have stable coins in other currencies, because if you're not in the United States, a dollar coin is not really all that stable. You still need liquidity between those stable coins. And I think it's also important to remember that these stable coins have counterparties, and there isn't a universal counterparty. There isn't some counterparty that everybody in the world can have equal access to. It's going to have to be in some jurisdiction. It's going to have to be part of some regulatory regime. And so I think if the vision is this sort of open participation, this sort of internet of money, collateralized stable coins will be players, but I think there will still have to be liquidity between them. And if you
Without something like XRP or stablecoins, Ondo can't move billions seamlessly. And Ondo's value is going to rise over adoption, yield demand, they're all pitching for right now. And also this legitimate and also a speculative massive bull run we're going to see with institutions and retail. And it's going to be fireworks. That's all I got to say. Ondo is a great project, but you got to understand, many of you guys are going to think, the dumb ones are going to think I said the same thing here. Ondo represents value. XRP moves the value. Okay, write that down. Ondo represents value and XRP moves the value. And now let's go to Axelar, the good old Tyrone Lobin clip. Axelar is a layer 0 interoperability network. And its job is to connect multiple blockchains, Ethereum, Avalanche, together. And just listen to what was said here. He's been at JP Morgan for over 20 years. Dude's a genius. Head of digital assets. You guys all know him. If you're new to my channel, please watch my previous videos. But remember this is iconic the way we portrayed this episode.
Apollo, JP Morgan, and WisdomTree provided traditional and alternative assets to be tokenized. And in order to set up this fragmented environment, we had Onyx and Oasis Pro tokenize these assets on 3 different permissioned blockchain environments. We had a permissioned zone of the Provenance blockchain, the Onyx Digital Assets platform, and a permissioned Avalanche subnet. And to provide connectivity between all of these different platforms, we implemented not just one, but 2 interoperability solutions, Axelar and Layer 0. And to provide connectivity between all of these different platforms, we implemented not just one, but 2 interoperability solutions, Axelar and Layer 0.
So think of Axelar like the highway that connects all the cities, but it doesn't produce the cars or the cargo, right? So, man, I cannot wait to be right again about XRP, okay? And many of you guys that have joined this journey. And we're going to save it for the best, right? Best for last. Why XRP dwarfs them all. XRP is a layer 1 blockchain. XRP is the money, the liquidity, and the settlement layer. It doesn't rely on another token to give it a purpose, okay? It is the purpose to move real global value between banks, stablecoins, real-world assets, and derivatives. Here's the difference. Chainlink moves data. Ondo packages assets. Axelar connects chains, and XRP moves the actual money. When trillions in stablecoins, tokenized treasuries, and derivatives hit blockchain rails, they all need predictable, deep liquidity. They all need a bridge asset, and that's XRP. So how do these projects go up in price compared to XRP? Like we said, Chainlink, Oracle demand. Ondo, RWA adoption. Axelar, multi-chain usage. These are ecosystem tokens. They rise because activity grows around them. XRP is different. XRP rises because real world liquidity is flown through it. It becomes mandatory infrastructure. Quadrillions in tokenized value cannot move globally without a deep, predictable, neutral bridge asset. And that's XRP. And that's why, in the $100 trillion tokenized economy, XRP is going to dwarf them all. So next time someone, tries to hype up Chainlink or Ondo, which they should be hyping up, great, but they should not be comparing it to XRP without factual knowledge. Remember this, they're all valuable players in the ecosystem, but XRP is the actual spine of the financial system. One moves data, one packages assets, one connects chains, but only XRP moves the money. And that is why, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. That is why XRP has been deeply penetrated to the IMF, the WEF for a very long time. And I'm not like, these are, regardless of if you like these organizations or not. And don't forget all the, the Fed, everything is Ripple's there. Ripple's got their toes wet, okay? With the highest level of governmental organizations on board with Ripple for years, for a decade, because they know XRP is going to be the spine of the financial system. And I cannot believe the accuracy on this channel. But again, it was right in front of us, right? That's why we call people morons. It was right in front of us. You guys took the time to listen, follow along in the multi-year journey for XRP adoption until the world woke up to it. And then that's it. You guys took the time and actually did it. I put the time in, I put it out here, but you got to remember, it's like your brain cells actually sat through it, dissected it, understood it. That's why we're different. That's why we're not average. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but stop it. If you're one of these individuals lurking on Twitter or anywhere on this planet that try to compare XRP to Axelar or Axelar to Chainlink or Ondo to XRP and then Chainlink to Ondo, stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. The facts are there, okay? They're not the same. It's a collaborative effort. Man, please share this video with everybody that you guys know because these are 4 very, very high ROI tokens. And they're all going to do really well in the Web3 space, 100%, no doubt. Accumulate as much as you can, not financial advice, but it is, you're getting into a stock market 2.0 at ground zero. So maybe think for yourself to how early we are right now. And generational bottoms, right? Generational bottoms, XRP right now. And we're going to go over a few trades. XRP right now is just hovering. What is going to be the next big move? There's a lot of liquidity below. There's a lot of liquidity above. It is going to be a monumental breakout. And I'm betting to the upside. I am de-risking on the way up. But in my opinion, XRP is going to try one more attempt. And the whole market, again, in my opinion, is going to try one more attempt to get that next leg up. I opened the Solana trade not too long ago, and that's just up 1%. We have the Ethereum trade, a new one that's opened. We closed that cross one that was up 11,000%. The new XRP trade with a $3,700 margin, 8 leverage, up 40%. We took a little bit of profits. I am de-risking because I'm still unsure, but when I am sure, I'm going to go ahead and increase the margin, keep the leverage at 8. But right now, like I said, generational bottoms until we catch this. You'll see what I'm talking about, okay? You guys could watch on the sidelines. That's fine. We also got trades open on Tubit. Take advantage of the deposit bonus at Tubit. If you deposit $3,000, you get a $600 futures bonus that you could be trading with and practicing your ins and outs. Okay, so check that out. Take advantage of the futures bonus. But like I said, generational bottoms, monumental bottoms that I'm catching. I'm catching for the ride to $350 to $4, $450. We're catching this. So that being said, let me know what you guys think of Axelar, Ondo, Chainlink, and tell me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. Please tell me. Tell me if I missed something. If I missed something, let me know.
I'm going to struggle to convey just how much capital there is behind this regulatory dam.
Because there is trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars on the sideline that's just waiting for some clarity.
The entire crypto ecosystem is like 2.5 trillion.
That's what I'm talking about. This is what people need to understand. I'm not talking about another trillion.
We're talking about a major transformation potentially of capital markets infrastructure that affects all types of entities across the value chain.
I'm talking about quadrillions.
Right? Bank deposits, stocks, and bonds. $400 trillion.
That's not going to come easily or quickly, right?
Think about the opportunity, how we get to beyond the 1 trillion. I would start with private asset space is a $290 trillion market around the world.
This is what people need to understand. I'm not talking about another trillion.
I'm not going to say all of this money is going into crypto, but quite a lot of it will end up in crypto.
It's pretty easy to understand that we are clearly in this fourth turning. We are in a time of epic change. We are in a time of turmoil and chaos.
Because the world will be radically different in 5 years. And then with the new technologies, we're going to go, it's like going through a time warp. We're going to be in a different world.
You know, within that digital infrastructure, these are all spaces that are undergoing a massive transformation. I would say a profound transformation, that today, when we look back in 10 years, we will look at 2024 and probably 2023 as really critical foundation years for a massive investment journey in these spaces, that investment institutions and countries, in this case, that took the right decisions in these two, in my opinion, critical years, 23, 24. 10 years from now, we'll look back I think, and we'll be very satisfied.
Dream small, but we had the stars in mind. While they chased hype, we studied time. In the noise we found the signal. Brad knew just what to do. Now XRP hums like jazz, running smooth and true. Money's changing, systems bend, ripple flow into the end. Truth is quiet, bold and deep. We salute the ones who lose no sleep. Salute to the minds that built this chain. Salute, salute through the trials, through the pain. Salute, salute to the calm, to the wise. Salute 100 in our eyes. Bitcoin maxis yell on stage, stuck in loops they call belief, while XRPL just clears the way. No delay, no grief. They hoard coins like dusty gold, but we got utility in every fold. The future ain't loud, it's steady breathing. Real ones know what's worth believing. It ain't hype, it's code and soul. We salute the ones who see the whole. Salute to the builders, to the flow. Salute, salute where the real ones choose to go. Salute, salute to the heart, to the plan. Salute, XRP will lead the land. Value don't lie, and truth don't shake. Let the whole world break, we remake. Strategic reserve. us far. So here's to the signal, clear and bright. To the dreamers who held on tight. No matter the storm, no matter the fight. Salute, we rise with the light.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.